All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Hat and Beard Show. Today is March 6th, a beautiful Tuesday morning here across mid Michigan. It is high pollen. It is raining all day, and we are tapping out at a high in the mid 50s. Couldn't be any better. Boy, howdy. You absolutely got to love it. Today, boys, we got ourselves a show. Look, you guys know what the reality of the situation is. I ain't going to pull no punches with you. I'm going to blow smoke up your bum. There's not a whole lot really popping off in the NFL. You know, we're in the midst of the midseason slog, and this is where we're really going to really lift them weights and really get ourselves in shape for the big pull of the regular season. So we got to go and get our boots a little muddy, do a little bit of digging and a little bit of mining to find some stories. First and foremost, we'll be talking about the opera singer, Mr. Justin Tucker himself. He's getting himself. This is a story that has been developing for the past few months here. It's been quietly kind of pushed to the back burner. The NFL's tried to make as little noise about it as possible. But if you follow NFL content, regularly, you've seen this popping up. Justin Tucker. The Ravens make football decision to cut star kicker Justin Tucker amidst inappropriate misconduct claims. There's a little bit of parallels between him and old Deshaun Watson that we will be discussing that. Then we're going to be walking on over to DetroitLions.com. We're going to be reading our old writer here, Mr. Tim 20 man. We're going to be looking at the Lions. We'll cross-train Ratledge and Frazier to maximize versatility, a little bit of news in-house, and then also we're keeping a watchful eye on what is going to happen. And this is something that I thought about making the poll question for you guys. What are the Lions going to do to address the edge position? Now, we have about 450 defensive linemen already on the roster and expected to show up to training camp. But the fan base, I might be one of them to an extent, not satisfied with what we were able to do in free agency. And unfortunately, the kid out of Boise State, the 6th-round pick, the defensive end, has kind of been unproven. So we didn't really get a lot of wow factor in the big splash moves that we all kind of wanted to help alleviate some pressure on Aiden Hutchinson. So we will be looking at Lions predicted to sign former $65 million Pro Bowl edge rusher to pair with Aiden Hutchinson. I'm sure you guys know who that is. We've been talking about him, and he seems to be linked to us. And as we said yesterday, the ball's kind of in his court. As I stated early on, there's not a lot of stories out there. So we're going to be trying to chase down as much smoke to see if there's fire around, try and follow some leads so that we're not surprised by any moves that happen in the next month or two as we get closer to camp and we can start to project and feel a little bit more confident and comfortable. The poll question that I did think about asking you guys was which room should we be more focused on bringing in a veteran presence to help develop the young talent as well as give us a nice safety piece, a nice comfort level of comfort, insurance policy, if it were. And that is, should we focus on the defensive end room or the safety room? Honestly, both are top end, ceiling very elite, bottom end, real trash dumpster fires, unprovens, right? So those are two rooms that we talked about yesterday. So we'll look at these three stories as we go about. I really appreciate you guys all tuning in and telling a friend. That's what we love about you. Now, I'm sure some of you might be asking, hey, Hat, how can I be a part of the live show Monday through Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. here at youtube.com, expanding to 5 days a week come the regular season? And it's very simple, my friend. Just go ahead and do a barrel roll on over to the bathtub underneath the video here. Go ahead and just subscribe to the channel. And then the key factor to that is subscribing helps. But if you really want to be a part of it, hang out with a bunch of these, this rowdy bunch of chatters that we got in here pretty regularly. What I'm going to need you to do is go ahead and ring that notification bell. Okay, just turn that notification bell on so that you never miss out on any future content. Like I said, we go live Monday through Wednesday with plans to expand come the regular season. I'm also working on some little video projects here on the back end. You can see when those go up, dipping our toes, as it were, into kind of a Flemlo Raps inspired style video as far as the narration and structure is concerned. Not a where are they now, but something that I've been thinking about for the past couple years, and figure I might as well try and get a little artsy fartsy with it. And then if you enjoy the content that we're making here on this here video specifically, go ahead and assault that like button. Just give it the old 1-2, the old 2-piece and a biscuit. You know what I'm saying? Knock that son of a gun around. I'm not going to swear too early on in the stream here. Don't want YouTube to get mad. Yesterday we did get copyrighted, so our reach was restricted. I kind of figured that was going to happen when Kendrick Lamar was playing during the Aiden Hutchinson training video. That is what it is. We're not going to complain. You know, we're here to do what we're here to do. Hey, good morning, Beards and Boobs. I love that, Chase. Hell yeah, brother. Oh, good morning, Beards and Boobs. I absolutely love that. And I'm pretty sure Hat and Boobs is going to get a kick out of that one, too. They won't let her use that handle, though, which is unfortunate. And then last and not absolutely, the final thing, and I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing about it, but it's the one thing that we got to do. These call to actions. YouTube algorithm absolutely loves the call to action. So if you could do me a big old favor, it's the #1 way to help us grow here. And that is just again, down in that bathtub, while you're rooting around, checking things out, go ahead and click the share button, okay? And then, look, I totally get it. I wouldn't want to be affiliated with me either, okay? So you don't have to share this. You don't have to share this with your friends and family, okay? You don't have to put on your Facebook wall and have people going, this guy's terrible, blah, 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 blah. Look, all you got to do is copy that link down on your clipboard or copy and paste it on your clipboard on your device, any device, really. It's the best way. It tells the algorithm to get this out here and push this content out. Truth be told, you guys are doing an absolutely banger of a job, okay? There is no reason that we should be getting the growth that we're having right now because of where we are at in the season. Yes, we've seen a nice uptick during the draft. I was totally kind of hoping that would happen. Again, exceeded the expectations of what I had, but we really climbed, and now we just keep plugging away, getting 1 or 2 here or there almost every day. And I gotta hand it's y'all. It's not me. It's just like with the chat, just like with everything. It's 100% y'all. Y'all basically run the show and help the channel grow. I'm literally just here reading what you guys are saying and reading articles. So y'all are absolutely killing it on that front. I gotta appreciate to say a big old appreciation to y'all. So now that's out of the way, let's go ahead and just get right into the show.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
All right, Beards and Boobs. We're trying to make sure the mic stays stabilized. I'm not trying to scream into your guys' ear over here. But we're going to, again, let's go ahead and put on our suit and clip-on tie. We're going to pretend that we're at a big-time broadcasting channel. We're going to roll on over to The Guardian. That's right, The Guardian. Yesterday we read Axios. Today we're reading The Guardian. Look at me. Look at me. I'm a regular Tim Pool. Ravens make football decision to cut star kicker Justin Tucker amidst actual misconduct claims. Ravens do not mention allegations in release announcement. Tucker denies allegations by, right there, massage therapists. Hot dog. If only these guys could keep their schlong in their towel around these massage therapists, there wouldn't be so much issues in giving the NFL black eyes. I really hope the NFL comes down on Justin Tucker. I felt the NFL did a bad job in coming down on Deshaun Watson. Look, if you're going to be the NFL and you're going to hold players to higher standards, then hold all players to higher standards. Frankly, I don't see what the difference is between what Justin Tucker and Deshaun Watson did and what Ray Rice did. What's the difference? I mean, obviously, the nature of both crimes, alleged crimes. Justin Tucker, don't be singing opera on your way down here with your lawyers, okay? Alleged, right? They are different in nature, but equally as bad, right? And so if you're going to kick Ray Rice out of the league, well, Justin Tucker, and boy, the Ravens, man, you guys are kind of developing a bit of a rap sheet here with old Ray Lewis, you know, potentially being linked to a homicide, allegedly. Ray Rice, you know, we all seen the the old boxing match he had with his girlfriend in the elevator, right? And now old Justin the old perv Justin Tucker, well, he decided to be a Deshaun Watson-esque and, decided to try to take advantage of some ladies trying to make a dollar, right? In a professional manner. Now, look, I do kind of agree with the, at this point, classic Joe Rogan take on massage therapists. In reality, is there much difference between that and prostitution? I don't think so. Yes, there are different degrees of it, but you are still paying somebody to touch your body. I mean, it's more or less but that doesn't give Justin Tucker or Deshaun Watson the right to do what they did, right? That's completely insane. Also, bro, you're rich. Why do rich people feel the need to do such stupid shit? Like, how come all of us poors can manage to live our lives in squalor, right? Living off scraps and barely sustainable income, and we manage to keep our nose clean 90%. Yeah, okay, yeah, sometimes you don't wear your seat belt, okay? Yeah, sometimes I drive 65 in a 60, okay? But what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Why? What is wrong with these assholes? Yo, for real, for real. And let's not point out, I would like to showcase that both with Justin Tucker and Deshaun Watson, the NFL does prove sexual deviants do not see color. Way to end racism. way to end racism, NFL. All right, let's get into the article. The Baltimore Ravens announced on Monday they have decided to release Justin Tucker months after reports that he was accused of inappropriate behavior by massage therapists. The Ravens did not mention the allegations when they announced Tucker's release on Monday, instead choosing to note the decision was a football reason. Now, they're not wrong. After the allegations kind of came out against Justin Tucker late last season, you've seen a huge drop-off in his productivity as a kicker. Yeah, you only got one job to do, and you better do it well, and he did for years and years and years and years and years. And, I mean, way to just shit right in your own hat, dude. Like, you took your lunchbox, your own lunchbox that had Hall of Fame. Justin Tucker, my guy. Not only did you have the numbers to back up the Canton nomination and induction after you retire, but by the NFL's own description of the modern day requirements to get into the Hall of Fame, and that is, can you tell the story of the NFL without this player? And subsequently, no, leading into this, you could not tell the story of the NFL, the modern NFL, without Justin Tucker, with that crow hop kick that he did against the Lions to hit, was it like a 66-yard field goal on Ford Field? You know what I'm saying? Set the NFL record. He's historically one of the most accurate kickers in the league. My guy, they were already measuring you up for a gold jacket. You were essentially a shoe-in. You were going to go down as a Baltimore legend, as a kicker. And what did you do? Well, you decided to walk on over to your lunchbox, pop the top on that, drop your pants down around your ankle, and just shit directly in your own lunchbox. You jackass. You jackass. Because they think they can get away with it. That is 100% correct, Chase. It's the money, dude. Money. They think they can get away with anything, especially in the NFL. Let's be honest. The 1% of 1% of 1%ers of athletes make it to the NFL, right? And they have been told their whole lives how great they are, how they've been essentially protected. I mean, Chase, let's be honest. There were guys in our high school who, because they brought state championships to our school in basketball, they were allowed to get away with everything. And I mean everything, bro. You think you know who I'm talking about? I don't want to speak too ill. Unfortunately, that particular individual, he died about 3 years ago of a heart attack. And that's super unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? But we can show, and I'm sure everybody across all walks have seen, rules being bent for some other than others. But especially when you get to the high end NFL, when you're a top end guy, you think the rules just don't matter to you. They know they can get away with it. Money fines don't hurt them at all. Exactly, Jeanette Hall. They don't care about the money. They don't care about the money, especially when you are 2, 3, 4 contracts in. You're a multi-million-dollar kicker. I mean, you got all the money in the world, right? Chase says, that much money. Hang on, I got stuff in the way. There we go. That much money ruins everyone. Have we ever seen a case where it doesn't? Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, in a way, to get to a point where you're making that kind of money, at some point in your life, you have done some type of, not necessarily NFL players, but on the grand scheme, like you're talking about, Chase, uh, uh, individuals, humans, when they reach a certain echelon, the rules they don't think the rules apply to them. And I cannot think of, once you reach that echelon, anybody who can do it necessarily cleanly, right? There are no Mother Teresa billionaires. You know what I'm saying? There are no clean people. When you get into big business and big money deals, your hands have to get dirty one way or another, whether it's maliciously or the fallout of events that happen, that are decisions that are made that you necessarily, people make decisions for companies at the high end, like when the CEO of General Motors makes a decision, they don't necessarily care about the hourly worker. You know what I'm saying? So they still impact and have bad deals, dirt, blood on their hands in order to get that type of money. It's part of the nature of the beast. I think that's why, I could say that is partially why we all are able to keep our nose clean, because those decisions don't necessarily fall to us on a day-to-day basis, if any of that makes sense. Once you reach the threshold, your hands just end up dirty. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Your hands just end up dirty. And I mean, for example, look, I think it's pretty clear my stance on the current president, right? But I'd by no means say that he is a clean individual as far as business is concerned. One of the things that I highly scrutinize, DJT 4547, one of the things that I highly scrutinize him about is the quote, small potatoes, right? That was something that he uttered when the AFL, because he was an owner of an AFL team, closed up shop, and Donald Trump just walked by and just casually said small potatoes when it folded and was absorbed by the NFL, right? So, not everybody, nobody at that level is perfect. Like I said, there are no Mother Teresas, there are no Pope John Pauls who are billionaires, millionaires. It's a certain level, your hands just get dirty, man. Back to the article, quote, sometimes football decisions are incredibly difficult. And this is one of those instances. Why am I freezing? There we go. Ravens general manager Eric DeCosta said in a statement, quote, considering our current roster, we have made the tough decision to release Justin Tucker. And I imagine that is a tough decision because, again, he's been there for such a long time. He has meant a lot to the organization, right? And technically, these are all allegations. Look, I can sit here and have the waters tainted, but, big and hairy with a crack in the back. But there is the possibility, and as we move more and more into this highly divisive world, the possibility does increase. I'm not clearing the man by any means, and I'm not making excuses. But we do have to understand that there is the reality that possibly all of these women are lying, okay? I'm not saying that that's the truth. Now, most NFL teams have a real good grasp on what's going on. Okay, they really are good at digging down and finding out the dirt on players, right? So I'm sure that this decision wasn't made hastily. I'm sure that they used any and all information at their disposal. So I'm sure that the NFL or the Baltimore Ravens know something more than they're leading on to. Hence, not citing it though in the reasons why they cut him, because they don't want to have, in the event that this isn't true, but they feel that it is true, they don't want to have to defamation suit or anything like that. But I would lean I would lean more towards this is probably true. Okay, but I don't want to just to denounce the guy right out of the rip. I mean, thankfully, we live in a country where we have the right and privilege, although the court of public opinion does not allow it, that you are presumed innocent until proven guilty. But we also live in a world, not just a country, but a world where if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, yeah, it's probably not a chicken, right? The Baltimore Banner has reported that more than a dozen massage therapists and spa wellness centers in Baltimore area have accused Tucker of inappropriate behavior. DaCosta called the allegations serious and concerning at the time, and the NFL is investigating the claims. The accusations against Tucker include claims that he has exposed his genitals, brushed some of the therapists with his and left man juice on the treatment tables. And remember, boys, all ladies want from you is your man juice. Two spas told Banner that they had banned Tucker from returning. One of the therapists who spoke to the Banner described Tucker's alleged behavior as really degrading. You don't say. Another said that I can't watch sports anymore. I see his face everywhere. I get what she's saying, but that is not a common face in most televised sports. I don't know what sports she's watching where you see a face like that pretty regularly. Not a whole lot of that face popping off in sports. That is the face of a kicker. That is a kicker's face. You see this guy, that face, you know exactly what he does. He either punts or kicks balls professionally or sells used life insurance. Or in this case, brushes his genitals on people, brushes some therapists with his shaft, and leaves man juice behind on treatment tape. That's really weird, man. As a dude, bro, like, to each their own, and I'm not trying to yuck your yum, but you're into some weird shit. That's fucking weird, man. Tucker has maintained he did not act inappropriately towards any of the accusers. You fucking weirdo. The Ravens chose to select another kicker, Tyler Loop, in this year's draft, a sign they were considering moving on from Tucker. Tucker is considered to be by many to be the greatest kicker in NFL history and holds the record for the longest field goal and career field goal percentage. He has been named to the Pro Bowl 7 times since joining the Ravens as an undrafted free agent. Again, the story, can't tell the story of the NFL. He was the last remaining player on the Ravens roster from their recent Super Bowl title, which occurred when he was a rookie in the 2012 season. However, the 35-year-old has had the worst field goal season of his career in 24, converting just 73% of his field goals compared to a career average of 89. That is a massive drop-off. You might think that there's stuff going on off the field that is messing with his head. He was the last remaining player of the Ravens roster. Yes, we already read that. DaCosta's comment on Monday were consistent with those from Coach Harbaugh made last week when he indicated the decision on Tucker might come before the NFL completed its investigation, which means the Baltimore Ravens know more than the NFL, then they're really leading on. Quote, every decision we make has to be based on football. You've got a rookie kicker in here. You took him in the 6th round, early in the 6th round. He's a talented guy. Just from a football standpoint, salary cap, all the different things that you just take into consideration, whatever we decide to do over the next few weeks will be based on football, end quote. In 2022, he agreed to a 4-year contract extension through the 2027 season that included $17.5 million guaranteed for a kicker. Only one kicker in my eyes deserves that kind of money, and his name is Jake Bates. The Ballad of Jake Bates shall continue. Quote, Justin created many significant, unforgettable moments in Ravens history, DaCosta said on Monday. His reliability, focus, drive, resilience, and extraordinary talent made him one of the league's best kickers for over a decade. We are grateful for Justin's many contributions while playing for the Ravens. We sincerely wish him and his family the very best in the next chapter of their lives. Yep. Well, that'd lead me to believe that, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably not a chicken. And if if these accusations are true, you're fucking weird, Justin Tucker. You're kind of weird, man. You're kind of fucking weird. Ugh. All right, let's rid ourselves of that nasty nonsense. Too easy, Tony. What's up? Oh, hang on. Well, I missed out on some chats. I'm sorry, guys. Don't work. I will yuck his. Chase, I agree. I think I'm gonna yuck his yum. He's a weirdo. Don't worry, you'll yuck his yum. Ah, gotcha. You'll yuck his yum. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. I think I'm also going to a little bit yuck his yum. Too easy, Tony. Good. Welcome, Too Easy, Tony. I don't think I've recognized you in the chat, brother. So welcome. Appreciate you hanging out. Feel free to engage. Everybody here is real cool, man. A lot of good people in the chat today. Just randomly found this channel. Listen while I deliver packages. Makes it good. Hey, brother. Hey, you deliver. Get your paper, dude. That's what we're here for, man. Look, Too Easy, Tony. We exist for this channel. I decided to do this because I miss listening to old sports talk while I was working, man. So we're trying to hit that marker and just keep people working away, dude. You get us in the ear, man. You plug away. You make your paper, brother. And we're trying to make your day a little bit easier for you. So this will just kind of tie right into this. If you haven't already, please like the video, share the video around with all your friends. All you gotta do is copy and paste it down into your clipboard. You don't have to really disclose to anybody that you're friends or follow the Hat and Beard Show. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, Mr. Too Easy Tony. Welcome. And if you want to be a part of the Hat and Beard Show every Monday through Wednesday during the off season, we will be live 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So go ahead and ring that notification bell so that you're never missed out. And YouTube will just send you a push button notification. You just go ahead and click on that bad boy, and you'll be brought right into the show. And you can hang out with all of us. I'm chasing Chase here regularly, unofficially official producer until we're able to pay, until we're able to get a studio. He's unofficially helping me produce a show, you guys. Mr. Detroit City, Jeanette Hall, Cody Till hangs out. Ryan Allen will make an appearance. Our guys Keitho. Let's not forget Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank, the guy who called the Isaac Tesla pick. My guy. So welcome, Too Easy Tony. Welcome, bro. Hopefully you stick around and enjoy what we do here. So let's go ahead and barrel roll on over to DetroitLions.com. We're going to be reading this article. Just came out this morning from Tim 2020. Twin. Man, Lions will cross-train Ratledge, Frazier, to maximize versatility. If there's one thing the Detroit Lions offensive line coach and run game coordinator Hank Fraley believes wholeheartedly, and when it comes to his offensive line room, boy, that was a mouthful, it comes sure as all his players are cross-trained to play multiple spots along the front. NFL rosters restrictions usually allow for just 8 offensive linemen to be active on game days. Those restrictions make versatility up front key and has been a staple of Fraley's room for years in Detroit, along with grit, toughness, and a high skill level. That is what we look for. We need our big guy Dan Skipper to be able to flip-flop and play right or left tackle. And then we generally like to have a reserve guard, if not 2, because typically what Hank Fraley has done is our interior offensive line versatility comes down to I need you to play center and guard. That's what we did with Evan Brown a couple years back before he signed a good contract extension, I think in Seattle, or a new contract in Seattle. He came in replacement of Frank Ragnow when Frank Ragnow, I believe, was missing time due to the toe. And then we also then went out and grabbed Graham Glasgow, who, although taking a massive step back last year from where he was the year prior in Detroit, has the versatility to play at a high enough level at either of the guard spots and then slide down to center if something were to, God forbid, happen to Frank Ragnow. Knowing that, then we do like our versatility both. It seems to be a team trend offensively and defensively. You guys have heard me refer to it as our coordinators like to have a toolbox, right? They like to have many tools in their toolbox. And if you can be a multi-asset tool, think of our defensive backs, think of our defensive line players. Typically can split out if we need to, i.e. Josh Paschal. Slide down, play the 3 technique like Paschal. Zadarius Smith was able to do it a little bit last year, and it helps kind of alleviate things. And then again, with the roster restrictions that you have, not the requirements, but the more of the need to have depth at your skilled positions, because, I mean, one wrong step, one wrong tweak of the knee, and they're going to be done for the whole day. You're going to need to have a little bit more depth at the wide receiver room. Linemen traditionally are your, gritty, tough, hard-nosed guys. So you're going to carry a little bit less reservists and roll or on the live or game day roster. So, having that versatility, cross-train, and there's a lot that goes into that. Yeah, you might play you might be the starting right guard, but having to slide over to center. So for those of you who are not necessarily the biggest football fans, every position has a different job to do. So you have to know not only your job to do for every single play, but if you're going to be cross-trained like Ratledge and Frazier, like Graham Glasgow, you have to know also the job to do at your alternate position, right? So there's a certain pedigree that Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell look for in the cerebral ability of the players, and Hank Fraley, I'd say he's the best offensive line coach in football. We've seen tackles play guard on some days. Think of your friendly neighborhood Dan Skipper because of injury and vice versa. And the more players can do, the more valuable he is to Fraley and the Lions. When it comes to the newest addition to the Lions' offensive line room, the second-round pick, the best guard in the draft, and fifth-round selection, Miles Frazier, sneaky pick. Brad Holmes, sneaky picks. Think Christian Mahogany. Man. Cross-trained the two primary guards with some work at center is expected to be part of their early training, especially Frazier. Frazier has a lot more experience playing different positions than Ratledge. However, Frazier, fifth round, not as quite the pedigree that Ratledge had. And boy, man, I'm telling you, Ratledge is the best guard in the draft. That guy has all-pro written all over him, okay? I'm definitely not biased because of his badass mullet. Ratledge almost played exclusively right guard for Georgia with 37 starts. Frazier played both guard spots and right tackle at LSU over 39 starts in Baton Rouge. Neither played center, however. Quote, Hank will cross-train those guys, so they've only been at guard. He's going to put a ball between their legs and see if they can snap. But again, Hank's not going to put somebody in a tough position either. So he's going to be able to assess if they have the right makeup and mentality and communicative skills. That's a lot of communication comes out of the center spot. That's Frank Ragnow calls a lot of the shots at the line. You know what I'm saying? That's a big part of it. It's not just about being able to snap. You have to be able to have elite communication skills, not just as a starter, but even as a backup, end quote. And that's Brad Holmes talking about Hank Fraley. The Lions already have one of the most elite centers in football. You mean the best center in football. In 4-time Pro Bowler and 2-time All-Pro. Let's not forget 2023 Walter Payton Man of the Year finalist, Frank the Tank Ragnow. But Holmes always has been one on depth and another on the future. Ragnow turns 29 this month, and backup center Graham Glasgow will be 33 in August. Detroit also thinks highly of the development of second-year center Kingsley Iguakun. But Fraley and Holmes want competition and options once it comes to the roster cutdowns ahead of the start of the regular season in September. Quote, I'm here to do whatever helps the team win. I'm a team player through and through. They need me to kick out at tackle. I'll go kick out at tackle. They need me to be an X receiver and run go balls. I can do that, Ratledge said. I'm going to sneeze here in a second, guys. I'm sorry. Quote, I think it's down to what they need me to do and what they see me as. And then, like I said earlier, I just want a chance to compete and a chance to go out there and do my very best every day. That's all I'm really into right now. Frazier said LSU offensive line coach Brad Davis had the same philosophy of cross-training his room as Fraley does in Detroit, and LSU tackles Will Campbell and Emory Jones, who were drafted by the Patriots and Ravens, respectfully cross-trained at every position while in Baton Rouge. So it's like a perfect fit. Quote, if anything happens at any moment, I'm able to jump to left side, left guard, right tackle, left tackle. The only position I haven't played is center, but I'm open to that too, Frazier said. That is some Brad Holmes mentality, dude. Yo, Frazier might be a low-key steal, man. God, I love this mentality and this versatility. Quote, but I wouldn't just say, and also not a lot of people know, but I was the backup. I was the starting right guard, but the backup right tackle on both sides, so my coaches put a lot of trust in me. I have that versatility at the highest level, and I feel like I can definitely do it. That will be one of the fun parts of the training camp is watching these two young linemen develop and seeing what kind of position versatility they have as Detroit finds the best position for them and ultimately their best combination of 5 players to start the season. Starting the season, I would imagine that you're going to see working our way left to right. You're going to have the longest tenured Lion, the first offensive tackle taken in many, many years since I believe, oh God, who is that guy? He played for the Rams. Oh, shit, I can see him. But Taylor Decker is going to be your left tackle. Then to start the season, I'm not saying this is going to be the ultimate finisher of the season, but I fully expect Graham Glasgow to be your starting left guard. It only makes sense. Until he's usurped from that position, the position should be penciled in Graham Glasgow. Obviously, our big dog, Frank the Tank, Frank Ragnow, hauling down the middle, proven to be historically one of the best centers to play the game. And then the right guard is where things will be an open competition. Now, you can stencil in Christian Mahogany because of how just dynamic and nasty that guy was last year. He came in and played at a high level. I don't think he'll be a smooth one-to-one replacement for Kevin Zeitler, but if he continues to develop and picks up where he left off at the end of his rookie campaign, the dude should be your starting right guard. However, Tate Ratledge could easily take that spot from him. I do think that Ratledge is a better guard on the whole than Christian Mahogany is right now. However, experience, familiarity with the system, Mahogany should be stenciled in at your right guard. And then, I mean, are we even going to question, is there a competition at right tackle? No, you got a gold jacket wearing 24-year-old Penei Sewell, all-pro, all-world, greatest right tackle in football right now. At the right-hand side. So that's what I would imagine our starting 5 offensive line would look like, with tweaks and adjustments come, as injuries pile up, maybe players start to take step backs. I'm looking at Graham Glasgow. I really expect Glasgow to be the position that gets filled, replaced by Tate Ratledge, Mahogany, or Frazier. That in those guard spots are up for grabs. The right guard spot is obviously up for grabs with Zeitler signing in Tennessee, but Graham Glasgow, he took a step back last year, and I think he fits more of the rotationary player now at this stage in his career, role player, if you're talking about it in basketball terms, than one of the starting 5, right? So if Ratledge can, he played right guard mostly at Georgia, but if he can maybe learn to play left guard, or if Mahogany's been training to make the transition to left guard, and then Ratledge can just have an easier time plugging and playing in between his collegiate career at right guard into the right guard at the NFL, and you really put him into a position to succeed between all-pro Frank Ragnow and all-world Penei Sewell. The ceiling is astronomically high for Tate Ratledge. So that's what I would expect moving forward. I would expect, if injuries, obviously our offensive line stays healthy, come playoff time, after our first round bye, after we win the North and are the number 1 seed yet again, going 17-0 or 16-1, God forbid, I would expect our playoff starting offensive line to go something along the lines of Decker, Ratledge, Ragnow, or Decker, Mahogany, Ragnow, and then Mahogany or Ratledge at the right guard spot, and then Penei Sewell. That's what I would expect end of season starting offensive line to be, barring massive injuries. All right, we're doing on time. We got about 20 minutes. Might run a little bit short today. We do got to get up and get out of here. Got a little local election to vote in here, boys, and well, anytime I can vote to have my taxes not go up, there's a little adage that I live my life by, and that is a quote that I heard from an old congressman, a guy by the name of Ron Paul, and that is, taxation is theft. So anytime I can vote to have my taxes not go up, yeah, you best believe I'm going to vote to have my taxes not go up. So finally, our final story. This is just a little bit of a talking point that we're going to have until a decision is made, but it's just speculation and some ties that can kind of help maybe connect some dots here. So we're over here at thesportingnews.com. Lions predicted to sign former $65 million Pro Bowl edge rusher to pair with Aiden Hutchinson. Before we get into it, if you guys haven't already, before we read this last article, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Ring that notification bell so that you can be part of the Hat and Beard Show Monday through Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. with plans to expand 5 days a week come start of the regular season. You can take part and be active in the chat and hang out with all of us. Mr. Detroit City! Hell yeah, let's go Lions! Let's go you, brother, Mr. Detroit City. How you doing down there, my guy? Hopefully you got some good weather. It is raining up here, man. It is raining up here. Good morning, you guys. Good morning. And then Too Easy Tony. Good stuff. You got a new sub. Go Bills. Oh, hey. Oh, you know what? Too Easy Tony, my brother. I'm going to let you in on a little secret, my dude. I appreciate the support, for real. That's awesome. First and foremost, thank you. Secondly, I'm a big fucking Bills fan. I love the Bills, dude. I love the Bills, man. I love Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen. I'll sit here and tell you that Jared Goff's the best quarterback in the league because I'm a homer. But in reality, dude, Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league. I love Josh Allen. I'm a huge Bills fan, and that stems from for whatever reason, my dad was like a Bills fan, and he used to tell me growing up about Jim Kelly and how the story of the Bills, the underdog, how the 4 Super Bowl appearances, never won a ring, and they're the cold kind of forgotten team in New York, and everybody just kind of shits on the Bills, and I love the Bills, man. I'm a huge Bills fan, bro, for real. Sorry I'm late painting today. Mr. Detroit City, don't ever apologize, bro, especially if you're working, man. There's no need. If you're late, no worries, dude. If you watch us after the live stream, no worries, my guy. I appreciate you hanging out, making a point to come in every day, brother. Sunshine and blue skies, dude. Sunshine and blue skies sounds like you're making money today, brother. So let's be real. You got to put that bag before the hat and beard show, my dude. Too easy, Tony. Hell yes, brother. Born and raised in Buffalo. Now I got a little farm in about 20 minutes? Sorry, there's a thing on my screen. 20 minutes from the stadium. Dude, you got a farm? Shit, welcome home, brother. You are going to fit in great here, bro. You are going to fit in perfect with us here, dude. If you got yourself a little farm outside the city about 20 minutes from, damn, brother. So do you go to the games? Are you a game going type of dude? Or are you like I don't mind going to football games. I have a better time. I enjoy it more watching it from my couch just because stats, and I don't like people, man. I don't like people. All right, now that that's all the way and you guys are subscribed and you've shared this around with all your friends, we're rocking and rolling in the chat. You guys are killing it this morning. The Detroit Lions added to their pass rush in the 6th round of the 2025 NFL Draft with their selection of Boise State's Ahmad Hussein. I got to know how to pronounce that, man, because this dude, when you see the tape of him doing drills at the combine, this sumbitch, this dude is a man possessed. When I talk about hard running Jessies, when I talk about dudes out there playing with their hair on fire. Now I think he shaves his head, so he doesn't have much hair to light on fire. But this dude's got a motor. This guy's got some energy. Brent DeWitt okay, so it's Hassain. Hassain. Am I pronouncing that right? Hassain? Hassain? Like Hassan? Big Ahmed. Welcome, Brent DeWitt. I think I might have seen you in the chat before, brother. If we haven't, welcome. Thanks for partaking and engaging, dude. Full disclosure, you guys, I've got like a 6th grade Hassanin. Cool. Thank you. Fucking thank you, dude. This is why I like you guys, man. Y'all are some smart sons of bitches out there, dude. I got like a 6th grade reading level, and I read phonetically, so I got to sound it out. So the way you type that out for me phonetically, Hassanin. So it's Hassanin. Okay. All right, cool. See the way you typed it out? My guy. MVP move right there, Mr. DeWitt. MVP move right there, brother. For real. Though the 22-year-old has promise and should be a nice rotationary piece on Detroit's defense this year, the Lions still need another starting caliber edge rusher opposite the Michigan Mayhem man Aiden Hutchinson. With the draft over and the free agency market dry, General Manager Brad Holmes doesn't have many pass rushing options to choose from. However, A to Z Sports' Wendell Ferreira predicts Lions will pursue a reunion with free agent rusher Zadarius Smith to address the pressing need on their defense. I think we all kind of are expecting Big Z to be in the Honolulu Blue next year. Okay, no, he's not what he was. Take it from me. I'm 37. It's called getting old, man. The older you get, like I might still feel like I'm 25 on the inside. Hell, some days I still feel like I'm 19. But there's just things you can't do anymore because it's called getting old. Maybe like 1 year best seat in the couch with wings and blue cheese dressing. All right, too easy, Tony, a man after my own heart. I'm not too wild about the blue cheese. Allergic to penicillin, so be it the penicillin comes from blue cheese, not only do I not necessarily like it, also I like the skin to stay on my hands and feet, because when I take penicillin, my skin falls off. I turn into a disgusting mutant of a human being. But wings, bro, wings. We're gonna get off on a tangent real quick here, guys. I love wings, yo, and I'll have to maybe I'll have to ask her, and I'll let you guys in on it. Yo, Hat and Boobs has got like the best recipe for wings. They are absolutely fucking perfect crunch, perfect. And she doesn't fry them or nothing. They're all, it's all done right in the oven. But the way that she like does it, absolutely perfect. And she makes a banging hot honey sauce because the older I get, the less I can eat the super spicy stuff. But a little hot honey, woo-hoo-hoo, is about perfect for a 37-year-old with acid reflux. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Smith was released by the Lions back in March, but Detroit, God, what is it that she uses? There's some, because we've been not to get sidetracked, guys. We've been working on wings. She's been working on perfecting these wings for a few years, and about a year and a half ago, she finally tweaked the recipe absolutely perfect. And there's something that she adds to it that, God damn it, I can't remember what the hell it was. I can't remember what the hell it is. I'll have to ask her and share with you guys, because it fucking rocks, dude. Detroit could be open to a reunion. The team needs help up front and recently signed Smith's nephew, wide receiver Jackson Meeks, to a nice UDFA deal after the draft, undrafted free agent. I didn't realize that Jackson Meeks was Zadarius Smith's nephew. Not only does Zadarius Smith bring something to the table that can help the Lions, not only is he, in his short time here, become a fan favorite, energetic on the field to watch, good locker room presence, good veteran developmental piece for the younger players like Hassanin. Thank you, Mr. DeWitt. That would also be setting Jackson Meeks, although a undrafted free agent, that would be setting him up for the most possible successful scenario that you possibly could, having his uncle be there to help him navigate the waters. Does that not make the most amount of sense? Back to the article. Though he isn't an elite edge rusher, Smith was solid in 2024, posting 9 sacks, 5 of those with the Browns, 63 quarterback pressures, that'd be 23 with the Browns. The 32-year-old was traded to the Lions during the 2024 trade deadline and gave the pass rush some juice after Aiden Hutchinson went down in week 6 with a season-ending leg injury. Just call it what it was when Aiden Hutchinson snapped his fucking leg like a goddamn chicken bone on Aleem the Dream's big-ass fat thigh. But like the fucking man warrior that he is, he still fucking completed the play and made the sack, even with it, with his foot flop. Yo, Aiden Hutchinson's foot flopping around was so that shit was. But as we've seen yesterday, guys, with the videos, he's coming back like a fucking man possessed, dude. He's gonna be a terror for the. Just give him the defensive MVP crown now, and just save the NFC North quarterbacks. Poor J.J. McCarthy, Jordan Love. All the hype around the Bears being at this point 3-time off-season champs. Caleb Williams is going to be coming in, his ego through the roof with small PP Benedict Arnold Johnson, the trader in the Windy City, is the genius head coach, and he's going to get his absolute dick knocked in the dirt by Hutch and Hassanin. I kind of like the way that sounds. Sounds mean. Hassanin. Smith has been incredibly durable over the last few seasons, missing just 2 games since 2022. The veteran would take some pressure off of Hutchinson, who is coming off of serious injury, and would be a fantastic presence in the locker room. Detroit must upgrade their pass rush before the 2025 campaign kicks off. I don't say we have to upgrade, and I don't know if Smith would be an upgrade. He'd be a complimentary insurance piece. A reunion with Smith makes a lot of sense, as he is already familiar with Dan Campbell's culture and will provide adequate production as a complementary piece on the defensive line. So something we've just kind of been tracking for a while. That is, which hunts are your thing? Captain Orange. Fascist, that better. The fuck are you talking about, dude? Yeah, too easy, Tony. You just turned 37 yesterday. Happy belated birthday, dude. Robert Kraft and Dan Snyder. Headlines just like Robert Kraft. Yeah. Now so is Justin Tucker. Okay, I get what you're saying. America. Hell yeah, Mr. Detroit City. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Yeah, Captain Orange, I don't know. I mean, I know. Yeah, I agree with you with Robert Kraft. Dan Snyder did lose his ownership of the team. He was kind of forced out. But yeah, no, Robert Kraft. Yeah, he got away with some dirty shit. I actually talked about that during the Bill Belichick video a couple days ago. Yeah, Robert Kraft. Yeah, he's a dirty bastard. I don't know if Justin Tucker's going to get away with it. Mostly because, well, one, look, technically, it's all alleged, right? It's all allegations. It's all, up to the investigation. All indicators would say, though, that he's guilty. I mean, the actions that the team is taking shows that they know more about the Justin Tucker situation than the public does. So I would assume that the actions being taken are more than just protective measures for the team. And what I think that the poll, gotcha. Okay, I'm sorry, Captain Orange. I didn't quite understand you, brother. I'm not good at multitasking, so I didn't quite understand where you're coming from. But okay, now I got where you're coming from. The NFL should have learned from Deshaun Watson. Okay. Personally, I don't think Deshaun Watson should have ever been given another chance in the NFL. Okay. If the NFL is going to hold themselves to this holier than thou standard, the standard has to be the standard, and everybody has to be held to that standard. You cannot adjust the standard based on individual cases. Okay. And if you're going to be such misconduct of personal policy or something like that, basically how you conduct yourself on and off the field, because unfortunately, when you're on a contract for a team like this, that contract doesn't end at when the final whistle blows. You are a part of a brand, okay, and everything that you do on and off the field reflects the brand of the team that pays your multi-million-dollar salary, right? I don't think Justin Tucker should, if this is indeed, right, Justin Tucker is actually guilty. Deshaun Watson deserves, I can't quite read the bottom part. Hang on. I'm sorry, Captain Orange. I'm not trying to derail. Deserves exoneration. Why does Deshaun Watson deserve exoneration? Is there evidence showing that what he did was not accurate? I don't know. I get what you're saying, though. I would be inclined, technically, Justin Tucker isn't guilty yet. He's guilty in the court of public opinion, let's be honest, okay? And I'm not defending him. I'm just saying that there is a world where he could be innocent until proven, technically is innocent until proven guilty, but there is a world where he is possibly innocent. I just think that everything is lining up to, yeah, he probably is based on the decisions made by the team. And frankly, I think that Justin Tucker might be the final straw, and the NFL will make an example out of him. And what not a better person, actually, now that I think about it, what not a better person to make an example of, showing, okay, Roger Goodell, listen to me. Listen to me, Roger Goodell. If you are indeed suit and tie NFL, we hold ourselves to higher standards, then Justin Tucker, who has a Hall of Fame career, needs to have an example made out of him. Ban him from the NFL. Blacklist him from the Hall of Fame. Major League Baseball did it to Pete Rose, and what Pete Rose did was nowhere even in the same vicinity of what Justin Tucker is accused of doing. Right? So, Roger Goodell, you have a decision to make. Are you going to be the commissioner that you have claimed to be and pretend to be, or are you going to be the commissioner that we all know that you are and simply chase that dollar? Because what happens when Justin Tucker signs with ultimately the Browns, right? And then the media market kicks up. The Browns then have a circus with Shador and Justin Tucker, right? And then they can sell ad space while they continue to beat these stories into the ground. So, personally, I think Justin Tucker, ban him, kick him out, kick him out, kick him out, kick him out, ban him, bar him. Show that regardless of what you do on the field, certain things are not tolerated. And we've unfortunately didn't learn our lesson with Deshaun Watson, and we are going to learn our lesson with Justin Tucker. Now, Justin Tucker will, of course, have different avenues to pursue legally. The NFL Players Association, the union that they're a part of, will probably file some type of grievance or lawsuit, something along those lines. But that's why I think, I don't know. I don't know how the Players Association works. I don't know how their union actually works in terms of that. I know that my hands are tied as a steward for my union, that if individual is terminated, regardless of circumstances, I still have to file a grievance against the termination. So we'll see. I don't think Justin Tucker should be allowed in the NFL if this is actually proven to be true. We will allow him, though, the courtesy and his right as an American citizen to maintain his innocence amidst these actual misconduct claims until proven guilty. So we talked about that a little bit there. We went and discussed some cross-training options for our boy Tate, Ratledge, the Michigan Mullet, and Miles Frazier, the under-the-radar sneaky draft pick by Brad Holmes in the 5th round out of LSU. How the plan for Hank Fraley to see if they can where we can cross-train these guys at. Frazier does bring a lot of expertise at every position in college. That's similar to the mentality that the Lions had that they had at LSU, so he's already accustomed to that a little bit. And then we continue to sniff out to see who the Lions might bring in to help bolster our pass rush. And right now, the hot name and all roads kind of are leaning towards Zadarius Smith making a reunion with the Detroit Lions. Do I think he's going to be the shot in the ass that we are looking for at the edge? I don't think so. I would expect, though, that if we do bring in Zadarius Smith, he continues to play like he did last year as a pass rush only edge, so a not non-3 down edge, but only a situational edge player. And what you would see is an uptick, as long as Hutch can stay healthy, an uptick in both of their sack production, because they do different things. I think Zadarius Smith on 3rd downs with Hutch on the other end, it'd be like sending a 5th blitzer because of the athleticism of Hutch and what Zadarius Smith is still able to do. Obviously, once Aleem the Dream gets back healthy, then you have a nice rotation in the middle between DJ Reader, Aleem the Dream McNeil, Tyleek Williams, Roy Lopez, even Levi Onwuzurike. Expect to see some Josh Paschal and Onwuzurike rotation in from the 3 to the 5, stuff like that. And then most instances, though, I'd imagine you're going to start your rollout there with Paschal probably starting. But Hassanin, I do like Hassanin, so we're going to keep an eye on Ahmad Hassanin throughout camp to see what he's kind of got, because I liked what I seen in the film on him, just his energy level and what he brings. I think that's what Brad Holmes noticed too. So, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Hell yeah, Mr. Detroit City Trump, baby. This is America. You fucking nailed it, Mr. Detroit City. You nailed it, bro. You see my, yesterday I opened the show with Cinco de Porto. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. All right, boys. Well, that's going to do it for today. It is Tuesday, March 6th. We're going to get up on out of here because I got a couple things I got to do. I got to go vote, keep my taxes down, and we're going to head into work. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good evening. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Make sure you're subscribed and got that notification bell on so that you can be part of the show tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Not sure what we're going to be looking around, but we're going to be looking up something. We're going to be talking Lions news, NFL news, and anything in between. You guys have been a huge part of the show. I got to give a massive shout out to all of you in the chat, engaging. Like I said, it's you guys that keep the show running. I'm just reading articles. It's you guys that keep the show afloat. So big shout out to Too Easy Tony popping in and becoming a fan. Thanks for Thanks for the support. Thanks for telling a friend. That's what we love about you guys. All right. That's going to be it for me. I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. Until next time, bonga bonga.